Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us today. My name is Sally Baymont, and I am Vice President of Marketing at Juniper Networks. And joining me today is Brendan Gibbs. Brendan heads up our Automated WAN Solutions business. Brendan, great to see you today.
Hi, Sally. How you doing?
Very good, thank you. So Brendan, let's start with service experience. So service experience has become a top strategic priority for network operators globally, and actually not just service providers, but also enterprise IT organizations and even cloud providers. Why has service experience become so important, and why now more than ever before?
I'm talking to you now from my house. And the reason for that is, of course, the global COVID pandemic. And I think COVID has really shifted everything in our lives online. It's made the network the focus of everything. Everything we do for work, play, family, everything for life is done on networks now. And so I think demands on networks are even more critical than ever because it's the only way that we communicate. It's the only way that we can connect. And as a result, the services that we utilize just are under constant scrutiny, and it's our only way that we can actually, like I said, to communicate with each other. So I think service experience is paramount for service providers. It's paramount for end users, and it's something that we really need to put at the center instead of networks. It really needs to be around the services on top of the networks.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you, Brandon. And so obviously, at Juniper, we believe that delivering an assured experience is one of the top, requirements or most important requirements for network operators that are delivering services and applications to end users. And that includes an assured experience, an assured operations experience for network operators, as well as an assured service experience for those end users. We're referring to that now as experience-first networking. Can you connect the dots for us between automation and how that ties into experience-first networking?
The question that always comes to my mind is, how do you know? If you're a service provider, how do you know that your end users are actually able to use your service? And what you don't want to do is have a bunch of pissed off customers or people flooding your helpline if you don't know about it first. So the fundamental question is, how do you know that the service is up? How do you know that your customers are having just a delightful service experience? If you don't have an ability to monitor the service, to assure that the service is up with active checking, then you really don't know. And you're at the vagaries of chance. You're left to, whatever might happen. So I fundamentally think that if service experience is critical, and we believe it is, and it's more critical than ever, and if the quality of that experience is critical so that your customers stick with you because the network is even more important to their lives than ever, then assuring that service availability and quality is paramount. And that means assuring the service end to end. That means having linkage of the service to the underlying network infrastructure and assuring all of that networking yourself. So I think without service assurance, frankly, active service assurance, you can't guarantee, and you don't have any sort of ability to answer that fundamental question of how do you know? And if you don't know, you can't ensure your customers are happy.
I love it. Thank you. Thanks, Brandon. So let's talk now about Juniper's new Paragon Automation portfolio. How does it, help network operators not only just differentiate themselves, but also drive some efficiencies in terms of operational efficiencies?
Absolutely, Sally. Paragon has a number of components. We've crafted it around the operator lifecycle for their end-to-end workflow, from planning and design to online configuration to active service assurance, and ultimately to operating and analyzing the network infrastructure. So we've got a number of specific automation tools, some of which include Paragon Planner and Pathfinder, which offer a cloud-based mechanism for providers to have an offline source of truth and planning and design function, as well as an offline control function for, say, segment routing control, for pathfinding of LSPs and other MPLS paths through the network. We also offer an ability to offer end-to-end service provisioning from the cloud. So this is a great model where customers can dramatically ease their costs by seriously reducing the prospect of human error, with the ability to templatize their entire network in data models, multi-vendor, open standard-based Yang data models based on OpenConfig. What they can do is they can craft a visual workflow of how a service model should be deployed, where you can have pre-checks, deployment, post-checks, and updating service ticketing systems, et cetera. It really can give operators a significant acceleration of how rapidly they're able to roll out software upgrades, how much they're able to improve the accuracy, and ultimately treat their network as code by instantiating all that in a very easy to use multi-vendor config model. A third thing we've done is we've introduced Paragon Active Assurance, which came from our acquisition of NetRounds. And what Active Assurance does is it operates at the service layer, and it monitors the end-to-end service characteristics, whether it be jitter, whether it be latency, whether it be basic availability, and it can zoom in to pinpoint any particular problems, whether it be at an endpoint, whether it be a failed transit path, whether it be some extra latency in a public cloud. Giving that extra insights to service characteristics and service quality is so important for operators, because it fundamentally helps them identify, first of all, is the service is up at all, and if the service is up, are their end users actually having good quality or not? So Active Assurance really speaks to helping operators, first of all, deliver a delightful quality of experience to their end customers, but ultimately reduce their own costs to operate that service as well. And then another aspect of the Paragon portfolio is, frankly, Paragon Insights, where we're able to take the reams of data that we're ingesting from the network, whether it be from streaming telemetry off of all of a routed infrastructure, or the service layer data insights from Paragon Active Assurance, and pass that into an analytics engine for an AI and ML parsing of the data to glean insights. And once you've actually extracted useful data from the massive influx of data, you're able to then take actions upon it. And so now you start having that 360-degree feedback loop, where operators are able to better remediate problems when they arise. They've got accelerated route time to resolve those problems. And you have a means by which you can now optimize your network infrastructure based upon that analyzed data and the AI and ML insights. So Paragon really represents a means by ultimately customers can deliver that end-to-end assured service, reducing their costs, reducing the impact of human error, and ultimately making the network far more easy to operate for themselves.
Yeah, exciting stuff. So tell me, what differentiates Paragon Automation from some of the other automated WAN solutions that are on the market today?
Well, I think a lot of the alternates that really exist in the market are old. So one of the things that I said about Paragon is that it's cloud first, it's cloud delivered. Some of the automation technologies that exist from alternate suppliers were delivered before the iPhone ever shipped. I mean, we're talking not cloud-based, like these things didn't even know what 3G, 4G, 5G networks were when they were delivered. So what we've done with Paragon is delivered a fundamentally net new architecture that is microservice based and it's cloud delivered. And what that allows operators to do is to have very rapid introduction of these new services, the new automation tools. It delivers in a very scalable fashion because it's cloud hosted. So now you're able to leverage the base Kubernetes based scaling infrastructure, and it's very easy to use. So that is a key differentiator for us, where we have the ability to seamlessly scale as operators need and deploy as they might require, whether it's in a public cloud offered as a SaaS offer or software as a service, or it's on their own private cloud on their own premise, or a combination. We offer that flexibility, and alternate options from alternate suppliers don't even have that as a choice. So that's one option. I think another option is, frankly, we're unique in the market to have the ability to offer active service assurance. And we got this with our friends from NetRounds, which is a company that we acquired recently. NetRounds is the global leader in active service assurance. And the reason I'm focusing so much on the word active is because NetRounds, with its cloud-hosted control center and test agents distributed throughout the networking infrastructure, operates at the service layer. And it essentially mimics an experience of an end user. And so without actively testing to see whether a service is available, it's analogous to say like a phone call. If you're passively, trying to monitor a phone network for voice services, that's like looking at a telephone sitting on your desk and saying, I think it works, that's my phone service. The difference is an active service would be picking up the phone, making a call, and that's what NetRounds, with the acquisition and our friends from that company, brings to us with Paragon Active Assurance. It gives us that ability to actively interrogate and mimic a service to deliver, constant knowledge of what that service is in. And the third thing I would highlight is service provisioning. This is another key area for us, where alternate companies have solutions that, again, are not cloud-based, and they don't have an integrated workflow to be able to build an end-to-end service provisioning model for services and the networks. What you have is, from alternate suppliers, requirement to take multiple software tools, to have something that's fundamentally on-premise, something that's fundamentally highly manual and difficult to configure. And that's contrasted with our Paragon software architecture and software tools, where we have the ability to deliver a visual workflow build, a end-to-end service construct that's very easy to craft with a visual workflow builder and service provisioning template builder, and deploy all that from the cloud. So you could not have a larger difference between what Juniper is offering with its Paragon cloud delivered suite and the offline old world network management tools recast as so-called automation.
That's fantastic. Well, listen, thank you, Brendan. Thanks for your time. Thank you to everyone who's viewing today. I do want to just say a couple of quick things. If you want to learn more about Paragon Automation and Juniper's automation solutions, I definitely want to encourage you to go to juniper.net/paragon-automation. Register there and you can access demos, you can get product updates, and a wealth more information on the Paragon Automation Suite. So thank you, and thanks everyone for your time today.
Thank you.